Hi everybody. Okay, so I had a couple of things I wanted to talk about today, and I think I've decided I'm going to combine them. One of the things I wanted to talk about was going to be titled, "Whose responsibility is it for your broken heart?" That was the first title. And then I wanted to do this little exercise with human needs psychology, and I decided I can combine the two. Things for no reason. We all of us always do what we're doing because it's meeting some need in us. And so that's true, of course, when you end up with a broken heart. That is also, we know that it's because we sought that relationship out for some reason. There was some need in us being met. So, and of course, the really empowering thing, the really important thing is figuring out what your driving needs are, and also if you can find out what other people's driving needs are, it makes you really a lot more effective in your relationships and a lot more compassionate. So basically, what the tenet of human needs psychology is that no matter what culture, no matter what gender, age, race, anything you are, all humans there are 6 needs that we have. And what makes us different is the different priorities we place on these 6 needs. And most importantly are the top 2 that any person chooses. And it's usually kind of chosen for you in the course of your life. And of course, there's many different ways you can get these needs met. You can meet them all in very empowering ways, neutral ways, or disempowering ways. Meet them in most people will meet their needs in immediate ways, but that are not sustainable. So, for instance, the first human need is for certainty. This is the need that we have, that we know that we're going to be safe. If your needs aren't met, you will give up your dreams to meet them. So, and we all will. These first four needs are needs that we will all find a way of meeting. All of us will. No matter what we do, we will all find a way to meet them. The last 2 are spiritual needs, and very few of us meet them on a regular basis. But the ones of us who do have truly fulfilling lives. So certainty. What would life be like if you were always certain? If you could always count on everything? If you always knew what was going to happen before it happened? Of course, you'd be bored. So, in God's infinite wisdom, she gave us this other human need, which is for uncertainty. And uncertainty means we need variety, we need excitement, we need surprise. And so, again, people are going to differ on how much they need each one. The level to which you need certainty versus uncertainty is going to be individual and to your own personality, probably based a lot on your own experiences and expectations from your life. But so, would you say that you like surprises? And everyone says, "Oh yes, I love surprises." But it's not so true, really, because the fact of it is, we like surprises when we know what they are. But the surprises that we don't expect or that we don't want, we consider those problems. Problems really are surprises, unexpected surprises that we didn't expect, so we weren't hoping for. The third human need is significance. The 4th human need is love and connection. Most people settle for connection, caring, over love because they've been hurt. They don't trust love. They've been rejected, abandoned. So they don't go all in looking for love anymore. They don't trust it, so they settle for connection a lot of the time. So, and then, okay, so like I said, everyone is going to some way going to go about meeting these 4 needs. Everyone does. The last 2 needs are spiritual needs. And these are the needs that we really need to meet in order to have a fulfilling life. And to get, a real strong sense of meaning in our life. And so number 5 is growth. And this is, I think, really important. I used to be much more of a perfectionist than I am anymore, and that's because I basically have discovered that really growth is all about progress. Progress equals happiness. Write that down. Progress equals happiness. It doesn't have to be perfection. It doesn't have to be even be accomplishment. If you have a goal and you accomplish it and you don't immediately set a new goal, that accomplishing that goal is not going to sustain you very long. You're going to get complacent and you're not going to be satisfied for very long at all. We always need a goal to be striving for, and we need to be what it is it's not the goal, and it's not even the accomplishment that makes us satisfied or makes us feel contented. It is becoming the person that we become in order to meet the goal. That's what we need. That's the constant progress that gives us a general sense of well-being and a sense of purpose in the world. And then, of course, number 6 is the need for contribution. That's the need to give to something bigger than yourself, something beyond yourself. This can be a family, this can be a community, this can be God, this can be a purpose, it can be all kinds of different things. But it's something that's beyond just your own achievement and your own accomplishment. It's something that you do that benefits others, and that can be like I said, it can be family, it can be beyond family. I think that when I originally my goals that I had as a young woman were that I was gonna I wanted love, and I wanted to make a contribution to my family. That was, I think, what really drove me over the course of my life. And with the things that have happened, love is still up there, but growth has become really, really important to me. And then my contribution has moved beyond my family, and it's become a bigger outside of my family contribution that I wanted to make, or that I needed to make, or that the universe led me to be making. Okay, let's do this. How many of us, and I know the answer to this question, how many of us have stayed in a relationship that's not healthy for way too long? Right? I'm sure everyone that's looking at narcissism and emotionally abusive relationships can say, hello, I did. Okay, so it's not going to get you very far to be looking at what they did. You can do that. You can look at what they did for a minute, but that's not going to get you the growth you need. That's not going to tell you the information that you need to know. You need to know why you're there, what need in you was being met by being there. What need is motivating you in your life? What need is driving you? That's critical information to know. And then also know that every relationship that you get into is a mirror of the relationship you have with yourself. Every relationship that you get into is bringing up for you the things that you need to heal. Relationships are the classroom where we get to work out the lessons that we're here to learn. And everything that we do, every relationship we're in, we are there to be a student, or we are there to be a teacher, and sometimes we're there to be both. Best thing you can do, and the thing that makes all painful things have purpose and meaning is if you can, stop, with the blaming thing and looking at what they did, and because people are going to do things. We know this, right? We know people are going to do things. They're going to always disappoint us. The rejections are going to come. The bad behavior is going to come. The disrespect, the rudeness, the disappointing stuff, the thoughtlessness. It's all going to come. And what you always have, the only real thing you really have is your decision and your choice about how you're going to respond, what you're going to tell yourself it means to you. And it's always all about you. It's always and for them, that's all about them. You don't ever have to take. When I say take responsibility, I mean you take charge of how you're going to respond in a way that is going to be empowering and that's going to move you forward. So responsibility is about responding in a way that's going to be empowering to you. It's not ever about taking the blame. This, I think, I got wrong in my first marriage. Is I knew not to be. I knew that I wasn't allowed to be a victim, or that I wasn't supposed. That I didn't have the right to have any expectations of anybody. So I flipped that on its head and I blamed myself for everything, and that wasn't the right thing either. I don't have to take. You don't have to take the blame for what other people are doing, not at all. What we have to do is ask ourselves why we're there, why we're staying, why we stayed way too long, that kind of thing, and learn our lessons. We need to learn our lessons. It's up to us to respond in a way that is respectful of ourselves and says something to tells the world who we are and how we deserve to be treated. We don't get what we are asking for in relationships. We don't. We get what we expect. We get what we believe. Really, and a lot of times we get what we have experienced in the past if we haven't worked it out. So when bad things happen, especially when they're repeating, when they're happening more than just one time, they're not isolated incidents, the best thing you can do is get inside of yourself and root out what is going on with you. Root it out so you don't have to keep repeating that problem and learning that lesson and going through that pain all over again. And another video that I'll do is always the answer about how can you get revenge on the narcissists and that kind of thing. Well, this is how, because you won't even need to. Here's the thing: is in these relationships, these disappointing relationships that go on and on and on and on and on, you find yourself working on yourself, and one of two things happens. You focus on yourself, you work on yourself, you do what you're supposed to do, and one of two things happens. Either the person will have a change. There will be something that changes. When you're dealing with narcissists, that's less likely to happen than the thing number two. Number two thing that happens is it no longer matters to you what they do, because your feelings about yourself, your next move, your well-being is not reliant on them at all. You are there for yourself. You're not betraying yourself. You're not giving your power over to somebody else. You are looking at your relationships as your school and going, what in me is being triggered here? What in me did I need to learn here? And learn it. Learn it, and then take that new wisdom with you into your next relationship. your relationships will benefit for it. People say to me, oh, I always get cheated on. I haven't had any person be faithful to me ever. Or my last 6 girlfriends have cheated on me. That is a red flag. That is not about these other people. There is something in you that's creating that, for sure. And the same was true for me when I ended up in 3 relationships in a row where the person was emotionally unavailable and was making me feel my self-esteem was just getting destroyed, and I felt rejected and uncared for and all that, and really neglected. I chose that relationship, and I stayed in those relationships, all of them, too long. Well after I was crying and upset and not feeling happy most of the time, and that never again. I'm never going to be in a relationship again that isn't making me feel good. That doesn't mean to say that I'm going to bail on something the minute that we go through a problem. That's not what I mean. But I mean, if someone is, taking out their frustrations in life or whatever by demeaning me or being devaluing to me, cruel to me, or disrespectful to me, life is too short. I don't need that. I would never put up with that again. And I'm sure that if you've made it here and you found these channels and you're getting to this information, you're there too. It's a whole new world now for you once you start putting the pieces of this puzzle together. So yeah, a big piece of it is discovering, who you're dealing with and the whole narcissism thing and identifying all of that. And once you've done that, that's important. But once you've done that, really, the most important work is to get back to yourself and figure out what it is about you that brought you here, that drew you to this relationship, and what needs in you are getting met. Because if you didn't have needs that were getting met by being there, you wouldn't be there. Okay, thanks a lot for coming by, and subscribe and comments, give me a thumbs up, and come on back. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.